Hey everyone, Michelle Venus here once again. How are y'all doing? Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for choosing my channel, for being here, giving me your time, and giving me the chance to share my work with you. We're working on this anatomy and fashion project, right? It's a pretty big project. Like I told you, we're doing this to kick off the channel. Just to show everyone, to show you all why I'm here, what I'm doing on this platform. And without further ado, let's get to it. The pants, the trousers, right? The belts and the character's underwear. Like, comment, and share, okay? Give me your thoughts, suggestions on the video, how you'd like it to be, what you want to learn. Whether it's my talking, if I'm talking nonsense, if what I'm saying is useless, or if it's helping you out. Anyway, cool? Without further ado, let's go. All right, let's make the character's underwear here, right? The underwear. There's no big secret here, folks. I took a reference for the underwear and I'm just making it. Like, the character's pose, as I said, is pretty much mirrored. Both sides are the same. So there's not much to do. I duplicate the lines that need to be duplicated here. In this case, I just make half of the underwear, duplicate it, and mirror it to the other side, okay? Then I add some creases here, a little different side by side. I add that necessary volume, you know which one, very subtly, just to give that boost to the character's masculinity. And that's it, man. And we just go ahead and do what needs to be done here. It's easy. It's basically a pair of swim briefs, right? So I think I'm pretty much done here, right? Let me see if there's anything else here. There are so many videos, folks. For me, remembering everything is complicated. Done. You can see that I made the underwear a little lower here. Now there's the pants, which go a little higher to cover the underwear. Here. Then there's this part of the pants too, these little straps on the pants, which I also don't know the name of. Yeah, folks, you'll see that what I really lack is the names of things, but here we know how to make it, you know? Here you should care more about the image than the name of the thing. If you know the names of these things, leave them in the comments to help me out, okay? Which part of the pants is it, okay? If you know, help me out. Here we learn together. Here, everything is a reference too. I'm copying these pants here as well. I picked a reference, but now I don't remember which one because I grabbed a bunch. Because it's like that, you know, folks. Sometimes I take like 3 different pants references. And for example, the top part of the pants is from one reference, then the legs are from another, and the hem is from yet another reference, you know? Sometimes you can do that because sometimes you see that the hem from one reference isn't good, but like the way it falls at the knee, edit and like always paying attention. Also here, for example, I'm making these folds at the knee, these creases, paying close attention. What kind of material do you want for your pants? Okay. So here I want a regular pair of pants. Pants that are a little more textured, a bit thicker than normal pants. Almost like, oh my God, I can't think of the word, guys. But anyway, yeah, a texture that's thicker than regular linen pants, you know. That one is a fuzzier fabric. Oh my God, I forgot the name now. It's almost like velvet. No, it's not quite velvet, but anyway, I'll remember the name later. There's still more video, okay? Don't worry, everyone, stay calm. So here we have the base of the pants, right? The hem of the pants, which needs to have that drape right at the foot. Some people say, wow, but there's a lot of, how do you say it? The hem of the pants can't be too wide to make too many creases, but sometimes in the drawing it looks good, you know? I think it turned out well here. I believe the final product turned out well. Later you'll see, you'll check it out, but I think it worked. It added something, a lot, to the art, you know? These creases here, all these folds. Always making them here. trying to interpret these folds here. You'll see that when I go to paint, I think it was in this drawing, I think it was in this project, because there are a lot, you know. Sometimes we redo the folds when we're painting because sometimes we see that it didn't turn out well, you know. Sometimes we notice that the shadow and light didn't look good, the composition didn't work out. It's the same thing here on this upper part of the pants. You have to be very careful because it's a pelvic region, so you can't emphasize it too much, okay? So always taking measurements and making the necessary lines which will make the pants look very natural, leaving them loose in this area. Don't make them too tight, right? Because that's not the case here. You could make tight pants, sure, but that's not what we're doing here. So we keep working, taking these measurements and then adding the necessary creases. As I said, this is just the layout. When it comes time to paint, we can still make changes and we'll see if it looks good or not. Okay, you can see the layout is very light here because later we'll define it more clearly. You can see that each part of the pants is done on a separate layer, like the area where the belt goes. There's a layer for that, and then where the zipper is, that's another layer. And then you have these folds which are on yet another layer, and then there's this leg here. So you do the whole pair of pants on another layer, and that's how we go about it, okay? Now we can emphasize things a bit more, right? On the lines we want here, we give them that basic definition like this. Even though it's just a layout, folks, the line work still has to look good. I really like my line work. Sometimes I even prefer drawing over painting. So I care a lot about that too, you know? That's why I don't like to remove the line work from my painting, at least from my own work. I like to keep the line work. I think the line work is my signature. Why am I saying this? Because you will find your own identity. As you keep drawing and creating, you'll start to find your own identity. Sometimes you like to keep the line work, sometimes you want to paint everything without lines, making it as realistic as possible, right? Here I've always been influenced by Disney, folks. So with Disney, you have the line work, right? You can see the line work of the characters in the drawings. 2D, right? That's what we call it. I grew up watching Disney's feature-length animated films. All of them, first from the Golden Age, there, Snow White, Pinocchio, Fantasia, then Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, all those films, you know, from Disney's first era, right? And then later with the films from the Renaissance era, right? From Disney, like The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, and so on. Pocahontas, which is like an anatomy lesson, that animation, my goodness. So I've always liked the line work. I've always liked the line work. So I try to keep the line work, okay? Some things just don't work out. For example, you'll notice that the accessory, the crown there, doesn't have any line work, but even so, mixing these accessories without lines with the character who has lines still works, at least I think so. And here you can see that I use the same line for the leg because I want pants that are slightly fitted, okay? Because since he's a bodybuilder, since he's strong, we need to be able to see the volume of his leg, right? He needs to have that athletic look, but it has to be fitted, but not too much, right? You have to be a bit careful with that. So you need some good judgment when composing it. You get it? So I think that there on the outer parts of the thigh, it's really something that's worth it. We should already capture the outline of the leg. Here I'm drawing the belt, right? Which is a bit thinner. Then this part of the pants, you see, I duplicate all the lines without any guilt because that's how we make our work easier. Okay, always respecting these little strips on the pants, which are what hold, right? The belt. Here I'm going to draw the buckle now. See, you just do one side, then you duplicate it and make all four sides the same. No secrets. No guilt, no pangs of conscience, because here we've got work to do. If we want to show off here, like, oh, look what I can do without using the photographer's materials, without using the tools, you'll be here forever, man, okay? And that's not the goal. So, all right, here we make the necessary adjustments to the belt. Give it a slight curve downward to give it a, you see? This thing with the line that I'm redoing here is so that the lines don't get stuck together. In the layout, you can even leave them a little close, but when you go to ink it, see? It's good to keep the lines separated, never let them stick together, especially when the drawing has these details with a lot of parallel lines, one next to the other. If you stick everything together, it turns into a mess. Look, it's already a bit of a jumble here, but when you do the cleanup and add color, that helps tone it down, but never let the lines stick together. Okay, always do everything separately and on separate layers. All right, folks, we've done the character's pants, the belt, and his underwear too. Everything that needed to be done. I hope this has been a good learning experience for y'all. Give me some tips. Give me some feedback. Go ahead, comment on the video, share it if you think someone will like it. If it'll help someone out. Sometimes people don't even draw, you know, but they like watching drawing videos. Got it? So share it. Like it too, okay? And that's it, all right? We're doing this big project and there's more coming, more costume stuff. Cool? Thank you so much for being here. See you later. Bye-bye. Thanks.